Hi everyone, welcome to Donna's Kitchen and the next installment of our highlight of all the retiring items. So there are two of our electric small appliances that are going to be retired at the end of August, and I wanted to just share those with you really quick. Probably my favorite, I don't know, it's hard to pick a favorite like children, right? But I'm most disappointed to see the blender on this list of retiring items. And I do believe it is an availability issue. And so this is toward the top of the list of when they can get it back. We will see the deluxe cooking blender come back into the line. But for now, they don't have a reliable source for getting them here and getting them made. So this is a wonderful product. It's the best blender I've ever owned. It's going to make short work of things like, crushed ice, but also other things like if you wanted to make your own flour, you could start with wheat germ. If you wanted to start with, I make hummus a lot, starting with chickpeas. I make my own peanut butter starting with peanuts. You can make, you ran out of powdered sugar, put a little granulated sugar in there, and you can use the grind setting to come up with powdered sugar. So lots of different things you can do. It also is, in the name, cooking blender. So you can make cream soups, hot sauces like there's an excellent nacho cheese recipe in the book. It does come with, I think it's about 60 recipes in the cooking guide that comes with it. So this little thing does a lot. It has tempered glass, and so one thing if you are doing something that is on the heated setting, you're going to need to use this little helper handle to get it off, because this will be warm if you're doing one of those cooked sauces or soups or something. But you can see that the blade is inside the pitcher, so this is not going to go in your dishwasher. So you're going to have to wash that by hand. However, guess what? It has a wash cycle. So it has a heated wash cycle, heats the water up to 140 degrees. If you've just been cooking something in it, it's going to heat up really fast because it's already warm. But if you're doing something cold like smoothies or milkshakes or whatever, it's going to take it a little bit to come up to that cleaning temperature. But you just put in 3 cups of water and a squirt of dish liquid and put the lid on, and it's going to clean it up for you, and then all you have to do is rinse it out and dry it. So that is how that works. There is a little sensor in the lid, so it is not going to turn on without the lid fully on and engaged. Therefore, you're not going to put the lid in the dishwasher either, but you can hand wash this one as well, and then just wipe down the rest. There are 7 settings, including one that is custom. So if you don't, there's a smoothie setting, there's the grind setting, the one I was mentioning, all of those things like peanut butter and powdered sugar and flour and stuff. There's a jam setting. This is one of the heated settings. So you can start with your pectin and your fruit, and you just hit the button. It does its thing. It mixes, it heats. Then it's going to pop up and say add. You're going to add in your sugar, and then it continues to do its thing. So in about 40 minutes, I can have a pitcher full of strawberry jam, for example. So that's what I usually make when I do the jam. So anyway, this is a wonderful product. It is one of our electric appliances, and it is on the retiring list due to supply availability. However, I also want to mention, in addition to the blender, you can also get a smoothie cup adapter. So if you're one of those people who has a smoothie like every day for breakfast, this is probably a good choice for you. So because the blade is in the pitcher, then with your smoothie cup adapter, you're going to have the blade in the smoothie cup. So it goes on like that. You put, and it comes with a little instruction sheet, so it gives you some ideas of what to put in first. So like the ice, does it go in first? Does it go in last? How do you want to put that in there? Because what you're going to do is then you have this adapter. It goes on top. so that you turn this upside down and it goes in. There's little notches so you can't put it in incorrectly. And then you're going to do your smoothie. Then, so when you turn the whole thing upside down, this is still on tightly. Then you take it off and it has, you know, your lid for sipping. So you can do just drink right out of there, or it does come with a plastic straw that you can use for that as well. And then this little cup, you can use it for that. It's also a good measuring utensil for ice. So when you're doing your smoothies. So that comes, and that's all in the little instruction sheet that comes with it. So for storage, I usually store this separate from the cup, and then these are going to go, and it stores right in there. So that goes right on top of that. So I store that separately, and then my cups separately. So these are easier to clean up since they don't have any electronics in them. Okay, so that is the Deluxe Cooking Blender, one of my favorite items, certainly my favorite of the electric appliances. And then we have another one that is going away, which is, I think I'm tethered here, so let me see if I can get here. This is the Deluxe Electric Grill and Griddle. So it's called the Grill and Griddle because it has different functions, right? Anything from Pampered Chef, it's going to give you more than one thing you can do with it. I've got it up here backwards just so you can kind of see. It does have a place to wrap the cord. You know, it's a small thing but important. There is an on-off switch here in the back. Then, let me turn it around so you can see the front. But so as this opens up, it comes with the grill plates and it comes with griddle plates. Where did I put that? Okay. So those are just a plain flat. So if you're doing something like a panini or burgers, you might want to use the grill plates. If you want, if you're doing pancakes or something like that, you're going to want the griddle. And these are really easy to change. I'm backwards, so just bear with me just for a second. I have to turn it this way so I can see the side. Okay. So there's a little button on the side. You just pop that out, and you can change out the plates. So, and you could do one of each, whatever. What's very cool about these is they can go in the dishwasher. All right. So, so whichever plates you're using, I usually store one set in there, and then I store the others separately. You could store these, you know, upright wherever you store your like cookie sheets and stuff. It's a good place for those. In addition, these are the two that come with it. Normally, you would think about, you know, putting something in there and closing the lid, right? But if you got something thick like a burger, you don't want to smash that thing flat, right? Or so there is an adjustment on the side so that you can hover. So it leaves that open, and this flip angles so that you can have it even. So what's happening there is both the top and the bottom are heated. So there is electricity going there. You see that conduit there. So so it's going to heat from the top and the bottom. So when you're doing, you know, crab cakes or whatever, you can do that. I've also done pizza, grilled pizza in here. Then I can hover it over, and it gets that heat from the top to melt the cheese. So that's pretty good. Or if you're doing burgers, then you can hover that over the top and melt the cheese without, you know, smashing that right on top of your cheeseburger. All right. Now, in addition to the two plates that come with it, there is a little secret compartment under here. Don't think you can see that really. And that is, inside there is a temperature probe. So there's a mechanism here where you put the temperature probe in the side, and you can actually put that in your meat while it's cooking, so you can cook until it reaches that temperature. So this is all in the use and care guide that comes with it. So it has a nice book of how to use it and a cooking guide that gives you some different recipes to try. So that is everything that comes with it. In addition, you can also buy the waffle plates. So just like we switched out the grill plates for the griddle plates, if you buy the waffle plates, then you can add those in as another option. So really cool for, you know, those maybe a Sunday morning brunch and you're doing waffles and you can do both sides. So pretty cool. If you have a waffle iron, then that's one less thing you can have in your kitchen, so you can multitask, as we said. All right, so that is the electric grill and griddle. It has, you can set with the probe, we said. It also has some presets for grill, griddle, keep warm, sear, and the panini. Paninis are one of my favorite things to make in this. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show you. Okay, so in addition to having that hover, the other thing you can do is you can unlock it and fold it all the way down. So this might be, you'd probably use this most likely on the griddle thing. So if you're making pancakes or you're doing, maybe you got eggs going on one side and bacon going on the other, so you can do whatever. So that might be a time where you'd want the grill pan on one side and the griddle pan on the other side. So we can open it flat because it is getting heat from both sides, remember. So another good way to do that. So if last thing I mentioned when I showed you that little secret compartment, it's also underneath there. So that is your grease trap. So if you're cooking something like burgers especially, you're going to get a lot of fluids coming off of there. And there's a little, I don't know, little conduit, if you will, so that it can flow out, and then that catches in that. And then you just empty that little plastic tray from underneath. All right, so that is how that works. I'm going to go ahead and put in my other one, just so I got the grill pans. These are probably the ones I use the most. Okay. And there is a little notch here so that you can get it in there correctly. All right, so that's the grill, deluxe electric grill and griddle. If you want to get your hands on this, you need to do it before the end of August. If you'd like to get it for 60% off, the blender or the deluxe electric grill and griddle, you can do that with hosting a party before the end of August. We do have a couple of days after August to close out an August party, but if you want one of these that's on the retiring list, it has to be in by August 31st. All right, so keep an eye on those, and keep in mind if that's something that you want to grab before they're gone. See you next time.